Welcome everyone to the second episode of the Beige Flag. With me, we have a great co-host, Haley Hartwig.
Hello, welcome to episode 2.
The Beige Flag.
Alright, Haley, let's kick it off by talking about our weirdest eggs. This is a new concept that I came across recently. I was out with some friends and she was talking about all her recent dates. One of her recent dates was, she said, I got the egg from the guy, and I asked, like, what is this egg? And she's like, this is the point of the date where the guy does something so mundane they lose all interest and they can never be together.
Of course.
And her egg, which is very weird to me, was that the guy was wore his sweater around his waist during the date, and 5 minutes later she called it off and made up an emergency to go home, which is so weird.
Sweater? Like what kind of sweater? Like if it's a hoodie, I feel like I can get behind that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But a sweater?
Like, okay, maybe it's like a knitted sweater.
Is it like a J. Crew, knitted situation, a little New England-y?
Yeah, maybe New England-y, but why does it matter what the person does?
I think that would also give me the ick. Tied around their waist. If it's a sweater, like, one, why are you wearing a sweater in this temperature? 2, honestly, just go full New England and do the little, like, preppy thing over your shoulders, you know?
I think...
Or
okay.
hold it like a normal person.
Yeah, but like, what's so wrong about wearing a sweater around your waist? And then I talk to other people
I think
about
it's the sweater that's the ick for me.
that a person has a sweater instead of hoodies?
A big sweater.
Yeah, because you're not 15 anymore, so we gotta wear sweaters to act our age.
Like, I think a sweater's cute on me. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy in a sweater that's cute.
Haven't you seen any of the royal family members wearing sweaters in the winter? I don't think...
Yeah, that's kind of an ick. I think it's proving my point.
So you think, like, preppy people wearing sweaters is an ick?
No, if you're gonna go preppy, go full preppy.
How else will you wear a sweater?
Well, around your waist is not full preppy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like, he was taking it off, maybe it got hot and he
can hold it.
Okay, but why does it matter?
I'm just saying, I agree. I think that's kind of an ick.
Okay, so
No, you go next. What's your ick?
Oh, mine's really stupid. If you sleep in past 9 a.m.
Okay, I agree.
Even on the weekends.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's an ick.
Yeah, you can sleep until 4, you can be up until 4, but if you sleep in past 9, I can't be with you.
Yeah, I agree. You wasted your whole day.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What's your biggest ick?
Okay, I have a lot of icks. I think I'm kind of picky. But the one that I've told people and been told by others that is the strangest is if a guy doesn't have a sister. I think that's an ick.
So, okay, let's step back a little. How does a guy choose to have a sister?
Well, obviously it's out of their control.
Yeah, so then why would you blame them for having a sister or not having a sister and be like, sorry, I can't be with you because you didn't have a sister growing up?
Okay, well there's like billions of men in the world that I could pick from, and if I'm narrowing that down by a little bit because I want someone with a sister, I think I'm fine with that.
I think I need to fact check how many men there are in the world without sisters. Maybe in China where there's like an overpopulation of men that have no sisters.
Yeah, exactly.
So no one from China who doesn't have a sister.
Well, I guess I can't date any of them. Unfortunately.
You crossed off a billion people. Well, 500 million people.
We're gonna need to fact check on that one, but yeah, it's my ick.
Okay, I actually do want to bring up something more when we're talking about eggs. Remember, this was when I was talking to someone and I showed you their Instagram bio and their handle was one of the friend's characters, and I was like, I really like this girl, and she ticks all the boxes, but her Instagram handle was one of the friend's cast member's name, or a play on their name, and you're like, that's an egg. And I'm like, you just ruined this entire person for me because you planted that seed in my head.
Okay, I don't exactly remember this scenario. So it was like Rachel or something?
Rachel or Phoebe or something like that.
Okay, well, if it was Phoebe, I can kind of see that because that's just kind of.
And that
I love Phoebe, but if you're saying you're a Phoebe.
She didn't say she was a Phoebe, she was doing a play of Phoebe with her name. And then I never went on a second date with her. thanks to you. First date was amazing.
I probably saved you there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, granted, given that, I haven't been on many second dates because whenever I tell you about someone, eventually we'll start talking and we'll find an egg.
But don't you think that's good? Think of all the money that's saving you.
Yeah, but like, think about how many more first dates I have to go on because I haven't been on any more
Okay, I
second
think
dates.
this is a good segue into our topic of the episode, second dates.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about your second dates. What percentage of first dates do you think end in second dates?
That's I actually done the math on this.
Do you have a spreadsheet?
I
Tell me yes.
Yes, I do have a spreadsheet documenting all of this. So out of I think it's like 113 first dates, only 4 or more have resulted in 3 or more
What?
dates.
Okay, well what's 2? 2's kind of like the sweet spot, you know.
10 or 15.
Out of 113?
Yeah, that's a 10% conversion rate.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah, and then the percentage of that resulted from the second date into a third date, I thought we were going into relationship territory until something
Really?
happened. Yeah.
So it takes a lot to get from a second to a third date.
Or even from a first to a second date.
What criteria do you think need to be there for it to go from a first to a second date?
To go from a first to a second date, you need to be able to, one, connect right away. There has to be some kind of spark. And recently I learned, just last month I went on 4 first dates that resulted in me getting the rejection text message saying there was no spark. And I couldn't really understand that. Like, how do you tell there's a spark? I kind of get it.
But you just said that. You said there needs to be a spark immediately.
There needs to be a spark immediately, but sometimes I had situations where I didn't think it was going well enough on the first date to go on the second date, but I forced myself to go on the second date, and then I could find the spark.
Okay, I agree. I think first dates are tough.
Yeah.
And I think that I usually give people the benefit of the doubt, and if they ask for a second date, even if I didn't feel something like amazing on the first date, I would do the second date.
Yeah, unless they're like glaring red flags right there on the first date.
Right, exactly. So that's why I'm curious why you have such a low conversion rate from first to second.
I think I go like, I am on this, basically I'm running so fast on my dating life and trying to find that person that I'm like, if I am so quick to judge and be like, this isn't gonna work.
Do you think that's healthy?
That is not healthy at all. I am realizing it right now. I have so many options, like at any one time I could be talking to 4 to 10 people.
Right.
But then if I go on a date with one person, I could be like, oh, it wasn't the perfect date. So then I'll write it off and then we'll never go on a second date. But there is no such thing as a real perfect date anymore, is there?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's a romantic idea to think, oh, our first date was just incredible. We hit it off.
Yeah.
We're meant to be. Like you were saying, that first date that you had during COVID that just went on for hours and hours.
Yeah.
I think that is a beautiful idea. But I think realistically, not all first dates are that. And I think you can absolutely find your person, find a relationship from a bad first date. So I feel like second dates are where you're a little bit more comfortable with someone and you can, I don't know, get a little bit deeper. There's not as much pressure. And yeah, I don't know. I think second dates are very underrated.
Yeah, I think it's also because of the fact I grew up watching Bollywood. And Bollywood, and I still watch a lot of Bollywood, gives this romantic idea of love at first sight. So if I see the person on a first date and we don't have that violins playing and people dancing in the background.
Do you know that we live on planet Earth?
I do, but I blame all of these Bollywood movies and Shah Rukh Khan specifically from my childhood for the idea of this amazing first date.
Okay,
But I think it's also because that amazing date I had during COVID skewed my mindset of like what a first date could be.
Okay, let's dive into the second dates that you have had.
Okay.
Okay, like what is your typical second date?
So recently it has been first dates are always coffee or ice cream, something quick.
Yeah.
Second dates have gone longer into a dinner date or we do an activity. We'll either go play ping pong at Spin, take a long walk at Lake Union, or go sit down dinner at one of the 4 restaurants I always go to, which is kind of becoming a concern because then they know where I am gonna be on weekends. But that's my second date idea. I would never do a film or like watch a movie on a second date because then you're just focused on the movie.
Okay, but I feel like I have heard quite a few stories of second dates turning into like watching shows, specifically Indian matchmaking.
Yeah, that could be an idea, but then it takes away. But you have to watch a show that you've already watched before.
Why?
Because then you're not invested in the TV show.
Well, what if they are?
Yeah, so then how do you talk during the TV show and figure out do you like each other or not?
Oh, so you're saying it's got to be a show you've both already seen before?
Or a movie you've already seen before.
I never thought of that.
Like, think
That
about
is an
it.
interesting point. Yeah.
Like if you're watching Love is Blind, the new season comes out and you're like, hey, on a second date, let's go watch this. And then I think it also taints the show for me if the second date doesn't go well.
Yeah. I can see that.
Because
For
then,
sure.
then I'll go watch the new episodes and then I'm like, it would remind me of that person.
Okay, so are you saying this is like because I kind of think this is a good move. So you're on the second date, you're talking, oh, what kind of shows are you into? Oh, I really like Indian matchmaking. No way, I do too. Then a little while later, date's kind of wrapping up. Hey, do you want to go watch Indian matchmaking with me? I think that's a pretty good move.
I think it's like a pretty good move. Or I have the easiest move. I have a cat. Everybody wants to see
Danny.
the cat. Yeah. Everybody wants to see Danny the cat.
So that's your typical ploy.
That was my typical ploy, and I live above 2 bistros.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could be like, hey, do you want to just hang out at the bistro and talk? Because the bistro opens pretty late, like open until 1 in the morning. So if it's
Okay.
going, and I live in a place where it's pretty walkable, so we could walk to the bistro and then hang out.
just walk upstairs.
Just walk upstairs.
Wow. It's like you're an expert or something.
Yeah, it's like only took 100 days to figure it all out.
Okay, so what kind of information are you trying to get from someone on the second date? Like, are there any questions you usually ask? Yeah? Okay.
Then I want to like talk about deep questions.
Okay.
I want to like figure out what they want to be. So for me, it's like I have this really big deal breaker is they don't have a pretty big ambition of what they want their life to be. Like,
Okay. So you ask, what are your life goals?
I ask, what are your life goals? Like,
Wow.
one, they have to be like really passionate about their job they're doing. Or if they do not like their job, they need to be working on something on the side to fulfill where they want to be at the end of the day.
Okay.
Right? Because that's who I am, because I barely take time off to do like things or like have a lazy day. I do have days.
The guy that's been on 113 dates
Yes,
in 1 year.
But that is to achieve a goal.
Yeah, okay, I
So
agree.
for
I
most
agree.
people, okay, yeah, like this week, we were at the draft day, right? People's hobby is watching sports or watching football or doing drafts with their friends or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
My hobby is going on dates
Fair.
because I like meeting new people and like trying to understand where they come from so I can learn something from them.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why
Okay.
on second date, I need to figure out who they are as a person.
So how do you go about that? You just say, what are your life goals?
What do you like doing in your free time, or what kind of books do you read? Because then you can start to get a sense of what they like to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do the responses to those questions usually go? Like, are people pretty receptive to that?
I think so. I think the people who I go on dates with are already somewhere in the realm of people I want to know.
Right.
So they have like a career. They also, at the same fact, have hobbies like I can relate to. Like if they're outdoorsy people, that's also an ick for me. If they're
Interesting.
if they're campers, and I'm like, because you're gonna spend your day off and your hard-earned money to go sleep on the ground.
Which is wonderful and beautiful and amazing.
What? Why not just sleep in a hotel or go glamping at Airbnbs?
Because there's something about just driving to the top of the mountain, pitching a tent, and just sleeping under the stars for the night. That's just like, you can't even describe it.
You know, that's why we build houses and whatnot for ourselves, right?
You don't get to see the stars, you don't get to be away from absolutely everybody.
Yeah, you could also die. There's mosquitoes. You have to go to the bathroom outside. There's no running water.
It's for one night.
I could understand one night, but people who go on like a week-long
Or like a
camping trip,
backpacking trip. I do
Yes.
like backpacking though. So
like if you go, will you go through Latin America all through with a backpack,
yeah.
Machu Picchu and
Yeah,
whatnot?
I would love to do that.
See, that's an egg.
Okay, fair enough. So you weeded them out, and if they say that that's their life goal
Yeah.
in your second date questionnaire,
Or if all their life goal is to start a family.
okay.
I've had those dates before. I've dated those people before whose life goal is to just start a family.
How do you know that? What do they say? I want to start a family on their second date.
They like, I talk about like, I also ask, do you want to have kids or not? Because I want to have kids. And if they're like not particularly want to have kids, then I'm like, there's no point in pursuing it any further.
Right.
Because then we'll go 2 years down the line and then people usually think, oh, I'll bring them around on the topic of having kids.
Okay. Okay, so you ask, do you want kids? What are your life goals?
When you want to get married, how long before
Oh, wow.
dating you have to get married, what was your longest relationship, why did it end?
Okay. Wow, that's quite a lot for a second date.
Yeah, because it takes so much to go from a first to a second date.
Yeah.
If you go from a second to a third date, that's relationship territory. Because then you're technically dating someone.
So 3 dates and you're dating.
That's in my mind. A second date, you're dating someone.
Wow.
Yes. Third date, you're seeing someone. Fourth date.
You're practically married at that point.
Yeah, you're engaged.
Wow. Huh. I never knew all that. That's very interesting.
So do you just go on dates without thinking of like what it could turn out to be? Maybe if I was like in my early 20s or 21, 22, sure I would think that way.
So you think your mindset has shifted recently?
My mindset has shifted so much. I'll say this to you. I'm looking to get married now.
Okay, we talked about this last week on the pod. I said, what is your goal of these dates? And that was not your goal.
I have a lot. So that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I have had.
Exposing us that we're recording 2 weeks late.
I think my goal now is to get settled down in a long-term relationship and being able to find someone. My goal, maybe by the end of next year, is to like be with someone that I can see for the rest of my life.
Okay, have you heard of the taxi cab theory?
No, what is the taxi cab theory?
I'm not sure if that's the correct phrasing of it, but it's basically that a guy can date a girl, he can date many girls, many amazing girls that are everything he's looking for. But if he's not ready, if his light isn't on his
Okay.
taxi cab, like he's not ready to get married, it's never gonna be enough for him. So when the guy decides to turn his light on,
Yeah.
whoever he's dating at that time is the lucky girl.
But like that doesn't make. Okay, let's talk about that. Can girls see the light on?
I don't think so. I mean, I think after you date someone for a while, you're like, okay, what are we doing here? But I don't think at the start you know if their light is on or not. But I totally think that the theory is true, and I think it's kind of gross because it's like, why is this all in the guy's hands? But how many times have you seen a guy date tons of perfect girls, and then all of a sudden it's the one? And it's like, the girl 4 girls ago could have been the one, but his light wasn't on. He wasn't ready. He was still fucking around.
No, wait. I believe women have the most power in a relationship. They reject guys all day long. like in this day and age, the balance has shifted.
Okay, I think that's okay.
I
My thought is mixed on that. I think at the beginning, girls rejected a lot of guys.
True.
I think a little ways into the relationship, I think it's more guys rejecting the girls
Okay, I can see that happening because
of the taxi cab theory.
I-
Well, should we get to beige flag of the week? Your dates of the week?
well, so for this beige flag of the week, we can't really talk about it because I told the girl that I was out with that we'd start talking about the pod, and she's like,
The first rule of the pod is never talk about the pod.
"We're not Fight Club, Haley. We have a dating pod, and eventually our faces will all be over Seattle once we get those flyers posted." So, yes. Oh, at the same time, we can't talk about the dates, but we can talk about this. This week alone, I got 4 rejection texts.
From who? Didn't you just go on one date?
But like, I went on 4 staggered dates over the last couple of weeks.
And they all rejected you this week?
Yeah, on Thursday.
Wow.
And I was so sad for 2 hours.
Yeah, I bet.
I had to take time off during work to go to the gym to burn off the sadness.
Were they all how were all the rejection texts phrased?
So 2 of them, one ghosted, never heard back,
Okay, so that does not count as a rejection text.
but it's still a rejection.
Yeah, it's a rejection, but we don't know that it happened on Thursday.
No. The last message was on Thursday. I didn't hear back, so I called back.
Oh, okay.
Second was like, "You're not what I'm looking for."
Bold, okay.
Was I'm not ready to date again,
Okay.
and I'm like, then why be on the apps?
Okay.
That's that bothers me so much. And
No, sometimes if you get out of a relationship, even if you're not ready to date again, like you want to be on the app, see what's out there, see if you need to go crawling back to your old relationship.
see, that's like so toxic. This is why relationships are so bad.
Why?
Why do you want to go back? Okay, if my theory is, or my big take is, if a relationship ends for a reason, you can't go back to it. It's like a perfect piece of glass, right? Once it cracks and breaks open, you can't put it back together. No matter, it's gonna have all those cracks in between it. So why go back to it?
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. On if you break up, it's over.
Yeah, like
Unless you meet again in like a decade and you're different people.
sure, if you met in high school, sure, you were dating in high school, then you meet 10 years later, sure,
Yeah.
perfectly fine, makes sense. Now you're
Yeah, but the like on and off again thing, I don't think that ever really works out.
Same thing with like, can we like, let's take a break. Breaks, I
Right.
don't understand.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, those were 3, and the 4th one, I think, yeah, I never got a response back from her either.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Well, not the most positive way to end the pod this week, but what's on deck for next week? Any ice cream dates coming up?
I think I have one tomorrow night.
All right. Well, stay tuned for next week to hear how that one goes.
And then we'll be back next week to bring us more information about how the ice cream date goes. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. Bye.